one of the reasons why the Bible says that you should not ordain an immature Christian, lest he falls into pride, lest he becomes puffed up and falls into the condemnation of the devil. That means that Satan's damnation is a result of pride. And that means that Satan was also in a place of authority over the house of God, so to speak, because the pastor is over the local assembly. Do you get the picture? So he's saying that thing happened to Satan can happen to a pastor that is immature. So don't ordain an immature person into the pastoral ministry and give him such oversight of the whole of the local assembly. Don't do it. You will risk that person's life. It's easy for Satan to tempt that person. And the person begins to feel that he is now a big thing because I'm a bishop now. You know, that's what it was, bishops. Bishop, elder, pastor is the same thing. Bishop means overseer. Oversight is administered by shepherding. So the elder is the bishop who pastors. That's what it is. So, do you know what I'm saying? The elders is what they are called. They are also called bishops. They are also called pastors. Their job is to shepherd. Is to administer oversight as shepherds. And they must be spiritually mature. Otherwise, they become puffed up, feeling like, wow, God has given them a place of authority now, and it gets into their head. And, do you know that? So that's why I say, honestly, lay hands suddenly on no man. Did you get that now? So if God has taken his time to process our pastors and giving them to us, it means these are solid guys. Doesn't matter what you think. Of course, it does not mean they are perfect. Just like me, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect yet. But it means that God has done the work for him to see it. And there were a lot of checks and balances. No haste. So, okay, you're getting this flow. All right, let's process that flow. And then it begins to come, and it begins to come, and it begins to come. So, okay, let's transfer it up to authority above. So, okay, yeah, it's accurate. All right. So, Wasif. So, yes, we are still growing, we are still learning and all that, but we have given us good guys. That's what you mean. I'm still good. We still have areas where God is working. So He will keep working on us. He said he's puffed up. That's number one. He's puffed up. That at the root of a consistent ministry of error is pride. At the bedrock of a consistent ministry, this is the problem from the side of the vessel. In 1 Samuel chapter 4, you see the problem from the side from the spirit realm. That's the source. But the reason why those people can use this person is because of this. He is puffed up. Revs, and it starts feeling, it manifests on power. Whoa. And spiritual pride can be very terrible. Very terrible. I told you guys, spiritual pride can be really terrible. We are bragging about nothing. It's puffed up. So you might not even see what looks like pride in the person. What you just need to see is a consistent ministry of error. It doesn't matter whether you have any evidence in the person's life that you have seen. The scripture has already diagnosed him. Said this person, number one, is puffed up. And if God helps you and you sit down and look a bit, you will now see it. But without seeing it, I believe the word of God. Oga, pride is there. I mean, recently I've been having some conversations because I need to have them. Because I'm like, the devil is on the prowl here. He wants to shipwreck people's destinies. Pride. Puffed up. Number two, he says, built upon the foundation of pride is a stupid ignorance. He said he knows nothing. Because what gives him the supposed puffiness is that he thinks he knows. Meanwhile, Paul had said earlier in Corinthians, he said, let him that thinks he knows, know. That he does not yet know as he ought. But this guy, he thinks he so knows that his knowledge is now superior to Jesus' knowledge. Now, if you don't think this message is important, I think that fire should have cleared you out. I mean, you need to read the valley. You notice moments of attack. That thing you are doing is important. Agent. You must have cleared that this issue of identifying doctrine I told you how Paul put a whole apostle to police doctrine. In the apostolic ministry, part of the job of the apostolic ministry is policing doctrine. Yes. Doctrine. Ensuring that it is the doctrine of Christ that is taught. That means you must know the doctrine of Christ. Because you can't police what you don't know. Paul had braced Timothy for so many. He knew Jesus. He knew the doctrine. He himself was a teacher. Was an apostle. And they saw that nobody, no pastor, no prophet, no evangelist, no anything, teaches another doctrine. No saint. If you see anybody just veering off course, correct them. After first time, second time, say after 2 times, leave them. They are subverted. They cannot be recovered. He gave them protocols, both Timothy and Titus, how to do this thing. Say, just know if you see this person consistently teaching error, he said, number one, he's puffed up. That's the foundation. What makes him puffed up? What is making him puffed up is that he thinks he knows. Meanwhile, that thing he knows, it doesn't matter how rebel sounds. He's ophobic. That's what it is. Vanity. He knows nothing. He knows nothing. You know, God told me. So I said, you know you two are going to confront in your field. Say, what are you? In what capacity? By the grace of God. In an apostolic capacity. Say, good. So you are going to confront doctrine. That's your own fight. You will have to declare and draw the line. Because in our, I don't care what you think. You might think that I don't really know anything. I'm a small boy who just started ministry when. It doesn't matter. But we have to draw the line. Because we have a generation of young people that are in danger. They are endangered species right now. And the reason they are endangered species is because you see, young people want revs. You want excitement. You're looking for what sounds deep. And I discovered that something is complex doesn't mean it is deep. It might be because you are a poor communicator that teaching is complex. When I was writing this book, the Lord did a lot of things to me. He said, you present the milk of the word in a milky way. Don't make it complex. And you have to deal with that. That something is complex doesn't mean it's deep. It doesn't mean it's deep. So you don't have to sound complex. And it's not that I was trying to sound complex anyway, but you need to deal with it, nonetheless. You don't have to sound complex to convey depth. The kingdom of God is like unto a sower went to that thing. And some fell by the wayside. So simple that you don't need to go to school to relate with Jesus' teaching. He looks at your context. Oh, you guys are farmers. All right, he enters your world. He looks at your context. You guys are bankers. He enters your world. He looks at your context. You guys are carpenters. He enters your world. He will relate with you, taking things from your realm and use to communicate deep spiritual. He said, I will open my mouth and utter parables. And in those things, I will utter secrets kept before the foundation of the world. So it's not about complexity. Sometimes things that deep may look a bit complex, but it's not necessarily about complexity. It can be simple but profound. For God so loved the world, He gave His only begotten Son. That's simply stated. Very simple. But that's deep. You are still going to keep exploring that all your life. You will never outgrow. Thank you, Lord. So he says, this guy he doesn't know anything. What is he doing? He's doting about questionings. Can you see the questionings? And dispute. So one man of argument, dispute of words. What? Please note, dispute of words. I'm sorry, but I may be a bit confrontational right now because I heard one strange thing not too long ago. Somebody was trying to make, I don't know the context, but let me, no, I'm not permitted to code it. I wanted to code it, but I can't code it. So, you are trying to come up with some sort of revelation, and in that revelation, what you're trying to say is that there's a difference between brethren and brothers. And I'm not even